Good morning, welcome back. Well, we got a few things going on today. We got Martin Builders here putting an addition on our shop. You know, one of the biggest challenges on a farm isn't always the weather. It isn't always the rising input costs. It's how you efficiently handle those input costs. One of those ways is your labor force. Over the years, we've struggled with labor just like any farmer, but in the past few years, we've had a good experience with Seso labor. We've got some guests here today. We're going to talk to them about our experience with Seso. Let's go.
Morning. I'm Max Farrell, growth manager at Seso Labor, joined with my colleague Caroline Debnam.
Caroline Debnam, I am the account executive for the Northeast.
And I'm Dylan, manager at Cervello & Sons Farms. And we're here today to talk about using labor wisely, getting the guys that you want when you want, and how important that is, and how important it is to use you guys to get the job done.
Yeah, so what we do at Seso Labor, we help out with the H-2A filing process with some of our expert team of case managers, worker logistics team based in Mexico. Then we also have a software platform that enables farmers to manage their program a little bit more efficiently, help them prepare for audits, then manage some of the back office work like payroll, onboarding, and do audit files. So Dylan, you gotta tell me about how your farm worked before we got here and what you guys do.
So we're onion growers in upstate New York, and some of you already know that. We hire about 18 H-2A employees every year, and we've been in the H-2A program for about 8 years. Before that, we were really having a tough time finding labor. It was affecting our harvest. We were thinking of downsizing, and we started the H-2A program. It was tough in the beginning, finding the right core group of people. We were using a broker before, but he was just there to assist us. He really wasn't there legally to help us through any situations or what should we be doing at the Consulate for the guys, and how to get transportation back and forth, and that all changed 2 years ago when we started working with you guys. We have seen not much lag in getting guys here on time when we need them. There's always like a couple week gap between when we wanted them and when they got here. The worst was like a month. It was just bad. We were behind on everything.
And how many waves of groups are you typically bringing in?
So we're using 3 contracts. Guys that get here stay here the full 10 months. They get here in the beginning of the year. The main group of guys gets here at the beginning of our season, where we start pulling weeds by hand, and then we have a fall contract for harvest. And that's kind of like our skill group where we try to pull guys in, and that's always been like a hard thing for us too, is to get guys that can operate. Equipment is just so hard to find good guys that are consistently here in the fall, especially because everybody's harvesting. So that has been a key to success there.
So when you guys are managing the program and preparing for the contracts, who's doing that back office work for you of like helping prepare the contracts and working with our team in the back office? We want to talk about Aunt Liz a little bit.
Yeah, Aunt Liz is usually the one filing the paperwork, taking care of business there, and I'll be in contact with Caroline and Almadina. She's at the Consulate, Monterey. Yeah, just making sure everybody's coming and getting out of the contract what we want. But there wasn't that communication before. That's probably the most pivotal part of that in my experience with Seso is Almadina. If she doesn't know where you are, she's gonna find you real quick. She is gonna hunt you down.
Yeah.
You're gonna have somebody calling you and blowing you up in your sleep. So she's awesome. She's really gets the job done. She makes sure she gets what we want, who we want. Very resourceful. I mean, I would say that out of my experience, she has definitely been very pivotal. Caroline filing the contracts, getting all the right, things in place for Almadina to do her job has been awesome. You've really been spot on.
And I think we even did some recruitment for you guys too as well.
Yeah, I mean, that fall contract, to get people to operate stuff, it's just, it's hard.
Yeah.
And you want people that take care of your equipment, you
Right.
can throw anybody in the seat almost. But, to find guys that have some experience, the recruiting process, to just kind of weed out some of those guys that just can't do that it's really crucial.
Yeah. And then let's back up a little bit and kind of dive in more, how did the process look before we got in here, and then how's it doing now? So Liz did the back office paperwork. What was your experience like with the broker? Like, what kind of broke down that made you realize, hey, we should go with a company like Seso?
The communication at the consulate.
Okay.
That was, our guys would show up, they had been sleeping on the consulate floors, they're hungry, waiting for transportation we ran guys off because we didn't have a good communication with the consulate. What was going on? We didn't even know that these guys were going through this, that they're broke and hungry and just basically bums in the street because they didn't have anywhere to go or do anything. You guys came in and offered that you would line up the transportation, that you would take care of them while they're there, 3 meals a day, a hotel, take care of them from their hometown to the consulate, and just make sure that everything and everybody was accounted for. Like, we would file a contract and then it was like basically held it out in the wind and the wind would take it, and we didn't know if guys were coming or not. And we had a lot of guys not come because their paperwork wasn't all set at the border, and they couldn't get a hold of them, or they just got completely turned off and said, screw this, I'd rather stay home than be treated like this.
Right. And I think that's what we see a lot in our team, is the fact that we're the ones that are filing the contract, but also then helping with the worker coordination piece.
Yes.
And like you said, if we don't have a piece of documentation, Almadina can hunt that down.
Oh yeah.
And so by doing that, like, we see a lot more of just on-time arrival. So as soon as the I-129 and the labor certification come in, and we can book that constant appointment for the workers, that allows us to get those workers here on time, and then also just facilitate a smoother process for all of you. What's your experience been like using the platform for like audit preparation and having those documents in order for Department of Labor?
I have no idea. I don't do that.
Okay, we'll cut that part.
They're in the platform already. He doesn't have to look at it.
Right.
He's ready to play.
I do know that my aunt has had a much better experience with that side of things, and we, for example, we use a time management software that all the digital onboarding that you guys do, it just plugs right in. Like, you don't have to hunt guys down for their social security number. Everything's right there. It just goes into the platform, and it's pretty seamless. So I know that's been a huge improvement as well for time savings. Like, the guys would get here typically in the past, and we'd probably spend a good part of a day while the clock's running of guys giving their social security numbers and taking care of all the paperwork. Like, when the guys get here now, they're going to work, and that's what they want to do.
Right. Yeah, for sure.
And how has a system like Seso changed the way that you guys think about your business?
It's kind of corny, but it makes you feel a little more invincible than you were before. Like, before, we're kind of, like I said, we were thinking about scaling back a little bit. That's admitting defeat a little bit. Like, I don't want to be like that, but you can only do as much as you can handle. But now I feel like our capacity for efficiency is way higher than we could ever imagine, and we could continue to grow as a business, as a family, as a farm, you know. So yeah, it's a good deal all the way around.
Yeah.
So, and dealing with you guys too, the Seso team is so easy to work with. It's been, I don't have any complaints, to be honest, and I'm not getting paid to do this. This is all off of my experience.
Yeah,
so
off a couple beers from
right?
the bar that we went to last time.
I guess I'll take that as payment, but
sure. Well, we love working with you. You know, we hope to continue to grow with you guys if you decide to keep scaling things and, as you say, help you feel invincible. So appreciate you doing this today, and looking forward to working with you in the future.
Awesome. Same here. Today is day 3 of our heat wave, and we're going to side dress some corn. Got 32% nitrogen. We're using our John Deere sprayer to applicate that every 60 inches. So this corn is on our upland. We consider upland mineral soil compared to our muckland, which is not mineral soil. This corn grows a little bit slower, not as much nutrients available to it as the mucklands. We did side dress those, but this is probably, I would say 36 to 40 inches tall. What we're gonna do is drive the sprayer. The drop nozzles are gonna put it in between each set, 108 feet wide, all the way across the field. At least try to anyways. All right, let's get back to the sprayer before I overflow it. What's up, cool guys?
Good. Nothing.
Wade.
Farming.
Wade, I like your cutoff. Dave, I like your boots. Well, I just got dropped off some cute little kiddos here, and we're waiting on my delivery of nitrogen. So let's look at some onions. Four-wheel drive van loaded from the rear. This is the field we are in 2 weeks ago when we came to visit the crew guys. They have grown quite a bit. They've added on more leaves, but it's more so the girth and the height of the leaves that they've really been putting it on. Anything you guys can add?
They're farming to grow up.
Yeah, they're growing up, Wade. They're getting big, so Rain and Pop this week, they did the first app of fungicide. Onions aren't the only thing growing out here. Yeah, get that, Dave. Yeah. Nice work, Dave. Showed that weed. From this point on, relying on the weed cap that we've applied already and hand labor going forward. Still waiting for Stan. How long did it take him, Wade?
50 hours.
We're doing it to it. Stan showed up and we got her done. So what we're trying to do is keep each one of these nozzles in the row. If you go over top of the corn, it'll put nitrogen on top of it and it'll burn the ever-living bejesus out of it. That's not good. Corn don't like heat. It likes it in its root zone, not in its top zone. So that's what we're trying to do. We're being 90% successful in that category. Dave is my left boom height control and Wade is my right boom height control. Wade, how's it look over there?
Good.
Dave, how's it look on your side?
Good.
So we're applying at 25 gallons per acre on the average. This field in particular is getting 35 because, well, Stan just filled up and said, got about 3,000 gallons left. And I said, well, I'm a little long on product, so let's use it up. So I bumped it up to 35. With nitrogen, you can over apply and not get the yield return, but I think that the CECs of this ground can hold the nitrogen for future crops, so that's why I'm selecting to put it on this heavier ground. There's a dead deer over there too, and it's all bloated You guys want to go see it?
Yeah.
No, I'm not getting out to go see it. A, it's too hot, and B, it smells. See that split in the field? The end rows are green and the center's not as green, and the height of the corn's different. This was my last field. Ran out of starter for about 2 acres out of 4. You can see the difference. Okay, boyos, bon voyage. Get out of here. Your mama's here to get you. Bye, boys. Don't get lost in the corn. Yep, it's still hot out. Well, this is where we got in trouble last year. Our sprayer was not tall enough to get over corn like this, and it didn't get side dressed with the nitrogen that we're putting down now. So we did lose some bushels on that, but it wasn't as much as we thought. It still was pretty good. This corn's a lot taller. This is on the muck. This is the same variety as we grew on the mineral soil where we started. So I would say that this is about belly button high. I don't know how many inches that is. So belly button. I'm 6 foot if you're wondering. Well, that's it for tonight. Ran short on go-go juice. So yeah. Have a good one. We'll see you next week.